I was looking. Hi guys, I was looking for a way to respond to this story, and I'm so glad Finegra decided to post it. Finegra, if you don't know her, or I don't know who's behind this blog, keeps it real. She's always speaking facts about the way Meghan is treated in the media, and not just Meghan. I think she speaks up for women generally. I love her reporting. If you're not following her, please follow her on Twitter or just join her blog and subscribe and get a newsletter. So let's talk about this. Jeremy Clarkson attacked Meghan in print. Now Prince Williams is on his show. For those who don't have context, I think she provides it in the article. So I'm going to read through and give you my commentary. Clarkson got 25,000 complaints of misogyny. So why is Prince William smiling beside his co-stars? Why indeed? Prince William's upcoming appearance on Clarkson Farms has reignited criticism over his public image, especially given the host's history of misogynistic remarks about Meghan Sussex, his sister-in-law, the mother of his nieces and nephew. On March 26, 2025, William visited Folly Farm in Somerset to support mental health awareness in farming. What? Just say that you went there to go and kiki with Jeremy Clarkson. What does mental health in farming? Again, let me be clear. I'm not saying that mental health issues do not exist in farmers. With everything going on right now in the UK, there's quite a lot of pushback around the upcoming labour tax reforms, which if you ask my personal opinion, I'm not seeing the problem. You cannot have 15 years of Tory rule and not expect that when labour comes in, they would have to, penalize some people who may have gotten away with things. But I don't. But that's not what we're talking. That's not what this site is focusing on. Anyway, the visit aligned with his new role as patron of We Are Farming Minds, a charity backed by the Duchy of Cornwall. However, the decision to film with Jeremy Clarkson's team left many questioning his judgment. I agree, and let me just quickly interject. If he wanted to film with farming people, there are lots of farms you could have gone to, William, even within your own duchy. You could have got people on the land because I'm sure the Duchy of Cornwall has farmers that are part of it or farmers that contribute to it. On your supply chain, you could have done a photo op or a mini documentary with these people. But no, because he has to compete with Harry and Meghan. And for those of you who don't know, William has his earth shit sorry earth shot prize, which is actually a pretty good initiative, supposed to award people for sustainability and maintaining our environment and environmental and improving climate. It's actually a pretty good initiative, which I would know more about if he actually invested in it and didn't use it for a photo op. The only time it ever gets in the news, frankly, is when he wants to waste our taxpayer money and fly private to go to host these events. So far, he's had it in the US, he's had it in South Africa, and I'm thinking to myself, this is the only time we ever hear of this event. Those shows, nobody watches them, by the way, so I'm not particularly sure why he's still wasting our taxpayer money on those shows. And yes, as a consequence of Earthshot's prize, he also had a homeless documentary. Yes, a homeless documentary that was featured on the ITV that nobody watched. It flopped, and because again he wants to copy Harry and Meghan, he got Disney to host it on their site. Nobody watched it. I don't see anybody tracking the ratings of that one because of course they won't. Anyway, the reason I bring that up is this would explain why he would choose to film with Jeremy Clarkson's. Why? Because whatever you feel about Jeremy Clarkson, and I personally think this bastard should be blacklisted and taken to jail. His show is quite popular. This is still very much a right wing is this country right now. The right wing is quite popular. Farmers are tend to be very very white man male show. So in their circle, they would love this type of content. So of course that's why he would show up there. But then William was joined by Clarkson's co-stars Caleb and Cooper and Charlie Ireland, who shared laughs with the prince as cameras rolled. William mentioned that his son Prince George watches the show and joked that Caleb should mind his language. Anyway, that light-hearted moment quickly turned sour online. Critics argued Clarkson was a poor choice of a collaborator for the future king. Yes, after all, he once publicly fantasized about sexually humiliating Meghan Sussex. And this is where, for those of you, trigger warning, I don't like talking about this article because the first time I saw it, I was genuinely shocked at how vicious it was, and it really upset me. But I'll read it through for those of, because I think again on this side, guys, we don't run away from these things. We put it down so that it's on record that people spoke up about the BS. Jeremy Clarkson's attacks on Meghan Sussex have a long history. Clarkson's hateful campaign against Meghan did not start with his infamous 2022 column. As early as 2018, Clarkson criticized her in The Sun, a media outlet owned by Rupert Murdoch, writing that she had gone from a breath of fresh air to wicked witch. I still don't know what Meghan had done. That article foreshadowed his later, more disturbing rant in December 2022, where he wrote he hated Meghan on a cellular level. He added that he dreamed of her being paraded naked through the streets while crowds threw excrement at her. Over 25,000 complaints were filed in the UK press regulator, prompting an investigation. Clarkson issued a brief apology on Twitter, describing it as a clumsy Game of Thrones reference. Later, he sent a private apology to Prince Harry. Notice that disrespect. Insulted his wife, didn't bother responding or apologizing to Meghan, because of, why would he? They talk about Meghan this way because they look down on her. She's not important enough to be respected, even though she is married to the king's biological child. But that's how much disregard they have for this woman, because she's American, she's a person of color, she's nothing. I will apologize. Okay, fine, I'm going to apologize, but I'm going to apologize to your husband, not to the person that he insulted. Anyway, Meghan and Harry rightly rejected that apology, calling it a long-standing pattern of hate. Ipso ruled the article sexist and ordered the Sun to issue a public correction. Yet Clarkson faced no professional consequence, because of course he won't. He kept his show, his column, and his platform. Curiously, the media doesn't scrutinize his show or episodes the way they constantly do Harry and Meghan. Shameful. The royal family remained silent while the media targeted Meghan. While Clarkson's hateful column sparked outrage, the royal family did not denounce it. In fact, Queen Camilla had even invited Clarkson to a private Christmas lunch days before the article was published. The party also included Piers Morgan, another outspoken bully and critic of Meghan. Royal staff issued no public statement, no clarification, and no defense of Meghan. Of course they won't. The articles are here. Clarkson met Queen Consort Camilla days before publishing his viral hate piece on Meghan. This silence contrasted sharply with the palace's swift legal action in 2020 when Tatler published a mildly critical article about Princess Catherine. The palace demanded edits and issued public complaints. The contrast revealed the firm would defend some family members, not others. And I'm very glad she pointed out, because I've said this before and I'm glad that we have it on record. People who I talk about, when I tell people about how much I dislike Kate because of the fact that she kept quiet and allowed Meghan to be destroyed in the press for things that were clearly not true, people ask me, well, that's the way they behave. Really? That, well, the royal family are not known to speak up. It's just part of the game. But they were able to speak up about this article against Catherine. But they were able to speak up about when Catherine went sunbathing and had her tits out, and they quickly ran ahead to avoid any pictures from being leaked. But nothing about Meghan. Okay. William's Clarkson appearance shows where he stands. By agreeing to appear on Clarkson's farm, Prince William sent a message. Whether intentional or not, I believe it was intentional. He appeared to endorse a man who had encouraged public abuse towards his brother's wife. Social media rightfully and quickly reacted instantly. Critics called William spineless and accused him of showing his true colors. Others questioned whether Prince George should be watching Clarkson's content, given the show's often crude language and history and the host's history of sexism. Is it worth pressing play? Let me see. This is for people who will come and say that making it up. Look at him kicking in with the host of Clarkson's. Disgraceful. This wasn't the first time Clarkson and William's circles have overlapped. Clarkson invited William to his farm in 2021 in a song column responding to William's environmental statements. William didn't accept at the time, but now the cameras are rolling and mental health messaging in the background. William gave Clarkson's show royal approval. A missed opportunity for accountability and change. I agree. Prince William had a chance to show leadership. He could have declined to appear on Clarkson's show or even ask Amazon to distance itself from Clarkson's sexist rhetoric. He could have spoken about hate speech and mental health, but he didn't. Instead, he laughed, kikied, as we just saw with Clarkson's colleagues on camera, passed along a message from Prince George, and pretended the past didn't exist. His silence wasn't neutral. It wasn't. It reinforced the palace's long-standing refusal to stand up for Meghan, even as public figures like Clarkson profited from targeting her. If the monarchy wants to be modern and inclusive, it must do more than pose for cameras. It must take real action to condemn hate and support those harmed by it. The royal family cannot ignore misogyny. Prince William's appearance on Clarkson's farm shines a harsh light on the royal family's public views. If the firm claims to support women and promote mental health, then silence in the face of hate undermines that message. Meghan Sussex faced relentless abuse from the press, racism, misogyny, and even violent fantasies printed in national papers. Meghan also wanted to kill herself. Jeremy Clarkson's 2022 column, in which he described dreaming of Meghan being paraded while people threw excrement at her, drew in 25,000 complaints, I said at the top. Yet the palace offered no public defense. Queen Camilla even hosted Clarkson at a private event days before the article was published. I'm going to play this video, guys. I find it triggering, but I'm going to play it again because I think it's always good to remember why we do this.
You are making people want to kill me. It's not just a tabloid. It's not just some story. You are making me scared, right? And like that night, to be up and down in the middle of the night, looking down my hallway, like, are we safe? Are the doors locked? Is security on? Is everything? That's real. Are my babies safe? And you've created it for what? Because you're bored or because it sells your papers? Or it makes you feel better about your own life? It's real what you're doing. And that's the piece I don't think people...
I'll say it again. I don't know how anybody can listen to this. Listen to somebody crying that you're hurting me, you're scaring me, you're making people want to kill me, and not feel sad. Even if you hate this person. How do you not feel touched by this? I mean, like, what has broken in your mind that will make you listen to someone appealing for you to stop putting her life in danger? You're scaring her for the sake of her children and for her family. How do you hear things like this and still be motivated to hit this woman day in and day out? And for those of you that are wondering, why am I calling Kinsey a massive back? Why am I laughing at Kitten as I felt or going after the Rangers? I do this because of this. Because I want to believe that if I ever, unfortunately or fortunately, get such media attention and I'm crying out like this, somebody too will want to stand up for me. This is wrong. I know I've gone off on a tangent now, but every time I watch this video, it really does trigger me. I didn't know she was going to publish this, but I think many of us need to hear it as many times as possible so that we do better. Instead of distancing himself from Clarkson's platform, Prince William agreed to appear on his show. This decision sends a message, whether intended or not, that misogyny can be overlooked for media exposure. The connection runs deeper. Murdoch, who owns The Sun, where Clarkson's article ran, also secretly paid Willie a very large sum in 2020 to settle a phone hacking lawsuit. So just for context, while Harry was out here ready to expose everybody, Willie not only took a bribe, he probably used that money to go and fund his girlfriend's lifestyle or his boyfriend. I've been hearing the rumors, William, no judgment. William had an opportunity to show leadership by rejecting this collaboration. Instead, he aligned himself with a man who promoted public humiliation of his brother's wife. The choice undercuts any royal message about inclusion or compassion. If the monarchy wants to be seen as modern and moral, it must show consistency. Defending women and condemning hate cannot depend on who the target is. T. So now she's being very polite. Let me drag these people. William, you're an asshole. The fact that I know you have done this intentionally. Yes, you have done this intentionally. You have an ops team, you have a PR team, you are the future king. You knew what you were doing. I don't know what you're hoping to achieve with this, or I can't help but wonder if your comms team is trying to, maybe there are people trying to destroy you from the inside. Because what is this? Why would you do this? Why? Of all the collaborations you could have done in the UK, it's Jeremy Clarkson. You're pathetic. And I believe that you did this because he's popular on a streaming channel. And since you on your own couldn't get ed shit or homebound or whatever you're calling that thing to get any type of traction, you've decided to go and cling to somebody else's show. All you've done is bring even more scrutiny and shame on yourself. Because you know what, guys? I was wondering why the royal voter was not talking about this. I was wondering why. I checked, the Sun popped up on my timeline, and I saw that they were attacking Meghan, and I was like, I thought you said this was your last content yesterday, and this came out, and I was like, of course. And then you focus on the Prince Harry center belly, because this is bad. This is bad. Even if you hate Meghan, the fact that Clarkson felt comfortable using his platform to say this about a woman, that was sexual, that he was calling for sexual violence and humiliation against, let me say it again, the wife of the king's son. Replace Meghan with Kate. It is shameful. Even the royal rota, all of that bitch ass Maureen initially said that when he thought the backlash was bad, he quickly walked it back. Even the royal rota, a lot of them were like, okay, wait, this is it. And let me even say this. Maybe I think many of them were not even that touched. They were just shocked at the backlash. They've been insulting this woman, saying what they like about her for so long. But then Harry and Meghan released their documentary. Harry released his book, because this came out around the same time. Sorry, Clarkson's comments came out around the same time the book came out. And I think people at that point have been like, is this what we've been ignoring? Is this, I mean, it just felt so validating for Meghan, I think, at that moment, that, wow, really? Because how do you write something like that, get it copywritten, get it printed, and nobody is like, what the hell is this? And even if it's not just Meghan, this discourse about wishing sexual violence against anyone, men or women, especially women, have we really as a society reached a point where we are desensitized about it? Is this where we want to be? It's a question for us. And let me say this again, lastly, William, you're an asshole. You are an asshole. Things like this is why I am very confident that you are going to be the death of the royal family. And maybe it's about time, because if you have this platform, all this wealth, all this opportunity, the weight of the history behind you, and you are too lazy to try and do some good when the camera is not there, then honestly, you don't deserve the platform you are about to be given. Guys, please let me know your thoughts in the comments. I love to hear from you. Are you as angry and irritated as I am? Please like, subscribe, and share. Let's build the community. Let's get the algorithm going. I love and appreciate you all. Take care.